some interesting results over the weekend, Kingy, with a top 8 fully alive as teams are jostling for top 4 and top 8 positions. What are your first thoughts this morning?
About the weekend, bit of a shock, I think, to see what's happened to Collingwood in the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks.
Are they cooked? Let's just, don't worry about the analysis. Don't worry about the nitty gritty. Are they cooked? Is their season over in terms of winning it?
The last 6 weeks, they're 0-5 against the top 9 teams. That means you're not winning it. As simple as that. If you can't be 50-50 with them in the back 6 weeks, Horney used to call it the runway. You got to be in good order the last 4 to 6 weeks of the season. And I know that you can skew the numbers and say if they had done this and kick one more goal here or one more goal there, they're just not in good order. They're just not at the top of their game right now. And any small vulnerabilities are going to get exposed in a final series.
Yeah, even though the plus 34 entries, which they will speak to, but I mean they were so efficient in the first 2/3 of the season, and that has evaporated now. They just got too many players out of form. They got too many players out of form, and yeah, I think you're right. I think they're cooked. I think it's been tracking that way for a while, and I think the long term of this is even more concerning and alarming. You and I disagree on that slightly, but Pies fans, give us your thoughts on that. Of course, the biggest issue to come out of that game is the AFL set to investigate Isaac Rankin and the prospect of him missing. And now this is all alleged at the moment and the AFL is investigating, but what we can tell you in the past is that West Coast Jack Graham was handed a 4-match suspension for using a homophobic slur in round 17. Lance Collard from the Saints, 6 weeks for doing the same in the VFL. Will Power, 5 matches last year for making a homophobic slur. And Jeremy Finlayson, 3 weeks for using a homophobic slur and was fined $20,000 as well in 2024. This is the last thing this club needs, and just the importance of Isaac Rankin to this group, Kingy, and their desire to win this year's premiership.
Isaac's not the reason they'll win it. Right? It's from just a strictly football point of view, that if they are to win it, they'll win it because behind the footy they're brilliant. They are brilliant.
Yeah,
they are bulletproof, with Worrell and Keane being the best interceptors in the game, particularly in the back half of the season. They've got great leadership. They've got great organisation. They are in sync. But you just don't, at this stage of the year, you can't have this rocking of the boat. And that's what it'll do. Tom Hawkins got suspended way back in, was it 2019, missed the prelim, got beat by Richmond. You can't replace players of this talent, what they can do in a forward 50 stoppage or two just to swing the game back your way. You look at the weekend, he did it again, and you can say, he drew a free kick that wasn't there, but he's still on the move, he's still a threat. So if he is to miss the rest of the season, which if he's found guilty of what they're investigating or allegations at the moment pending, then he will miss the season. What a blow it'll be for Matthew Nicks, who's done everything right. To come from 15th to top of the table a week out from the finals, it's a devastating blow.
It is. It really is. And so if you're looking at how many games left for Adelaide, 1 left for the home and away season, qualifying final, go through to a prelim final, there's only 4 games. If they're going to take the shortest path through to winning the premiership, there's 4 games left. And it's a big if, history would suggest that that's it, that is done, particularly when these sanctions get more severe after they've had the education of those prior to them. So that's why Finlayson started at 3. Since those, they have become more severe. So we'll chase up a journalist this morning who can give us the details as they come to light this morning. But that is one of the biggest stories of the year if this is found out to be guilty. Let's have a listen to Matthew Nicks prior to his knowledge of this incident with Isaac Rankin, and he was just keeping it calm.
Well, the lid's obviously not on, is it? When 54, we broke the record tonight, biggest AFL crowd ever at the stadium. The lid's not on in South Australia. The lid's on inside the 4 walls of our footy club, because we know we have to stay in that space. But I've come out and said, I think our fans, I think South Australia should be rocking at the moment, and it is.
It absolutely is.
He's done a great job, haven't they?
Oh, a great job. Really, a terrific job. Their defence is so well organised. They're healthy as well. This is why the Isaac Rankin news is devastating for them. They've had players improve out of sight, like Milera's improvement this year out of sight, Keane out of sight, Worrell out of sight. Like nearly all of the players across the board have improved this year. Saligo's gone to another level again. Curtin's improved. Phil Thorpe's improved. And that is, I mean, that's a coach's job. Maximise what you've got in your talent group as a coach, and he's done that. I think Murray Davis has made a huge difference to this group as well, coming over from Brisbane, and the ability to be there to keep Matty Nicks calm and to be a terrific mentor for him as well. So he's been significant, and Darren Bird just doing a great job as their high-performance manager.
So just to stay on field for a sec, I looked at Riley Thilthorpe on the weekend, and there's no way that he was 100% fit. He was.
He kept grabbing his neck.
He's impacted from that clash last week in Western Australia.
Yeah.
And I think it's a special effort when you're out there just to compete for your troops. He was having a down day, and then I see Tex Walker put on a couple of blocks for him that allow him to take that big power contested mark, almost top of the goal square. And that's why Tex is so important to this front six. And I know we can talk about his numbers and he's doing this, he's not doing that. Is this going to last? And we can be critical. Those things don't show up anywhere. The block of two players, one his opponent, and allowing him to go to work when they're outnumbered 3v2, but he's only essentially taking on one player because Tex has cleaned them out. I think it's just great leadership. And we need to just assess the group functionality rather than just the individual sometimes when you look at these profiles, Cornsey.
So, okay, yeah, I just think Darcy Moore's got to bring that ball to ground. I just do. Yeah. I just think, so you think you're the leadership of Tex to do that. I think the leadership for Moore is to, come on, it's 3, let's not get outmarked in this situation. And far too often that Collingwood back six has been so vulnerable. I thought they were better on the weekend. I thought Frampton was a lot better. But Moore's an issue for them, a real issue in terms of his ease. There was a lead-up mark early on in the game. It might have been from I can't remember the Adelaide player, but Moore just sagging off, instructing someone else to do it. Just get your job done, and he hasn't been able to do that. So
there's some irony in Keane being the one-man wall, having been at Collingwood prior.
I was
exactly what they're missing.
I was unsure about him early in this year. I thought he was a bit unsteady with his use and a bit of a turnover merchant, but he has been like a rock. There's all Australian meetings, and you're wondering who the key defenders are going to be. I mean, someone could make a case for him, no doubt about that.
Has someone made a case for him?
Well, I'm not going to reveal that, but you could easily make a strong case for him.
Has his name been mentioned?
Of course it has.
Just checking, because we talked about him earlier in the year, and you weren't as glowing.
I just said that.
I know you said that. I wanted to back over it because you clipped him.
Yeah, no, well, I just thought he was a turnover merchant at times, and he's been he's still got that vulnerability, I think, in him, but he was enormous, as are all of their defenders.
Called them the Rundle Maulers last night. I think that's what they are, this back six.
What's that mean?
They'll do a 30 for 30 on this back six if they win it. I mean,
what's the Rundle Maulers mean?
Well, the Maulers, they've just come from nowhere. Not M-A-L-L-E-R, Maulers, as in
gotcha.
M-A-U. I just feel like they've found a way together to be a little bit of a patchwork quilt that's come together, and all pieces are complementary of the other. It's brilliant to see. We've talked a lot about Worrell. He's a bigger version of Guy McKenna. He's that type of player. It just looks sometimes can look untidy, but that's him, isn't it?
He's a gun, and some of the selfless stuff that he does this year, the rundown tackles, the smothers, the spoils, when he's got no right to do it, and then he's had 27 and probably gets the coaches' votes, I would think, on the weekend. Craig McRae, he's trying to remain positive. I thought that was the best way to describe his post-match media conference. Here's a listen to that.
Bounce back this week, and I think we turned the narrative around internally again, that we think that stuff will stack up. There's an energy for that'll stack up.
Well, they did have 71 injuries, so I understand what he's saying. It just doesn't feel the same, does it?
No.
At Collingwood, it just doesn't look as
No zip,
authoritative.
no spark, none of that. The electric ball movement. I mean, in tough conditions, I get it. High pressure game. It was a slog, but there has been little of that in recent times. And yeah, I guess their best players, Houston, DeGoey. Never see them really. Houston once again, they try to play him higher up the ground on the wing, but unfortunately, not getting the results. Pies fans, give us your thoughts. I know you would be a little bit flat this morning. Harry Sheezel nicely handled after the game as well. 54 disposals, an equal record with Tom Mitchell, and congratulations to him. That is, well, near on impossible to do that in a game of AFL football. So the skill, work rate, determination required to make that happen is incredible. Of course, North getting it done by 48 points over Richmond. It was 17th versus 18th. Kingy, you were there in Tassie. You witnessed history.
And so did Geordie. I heard Geordie, great call, Geordie, by the way.
Was it cold?
Nothing better than playing your own highlights.
Were you on the plane together to Tassie with Geordie?
Didn't see him. No, I was business class. Sheezel 54, Davis Uniacke 40.
Yes. He was due.
They're big numbers, aren't they?
Big numbers.
Like 94 between the two.
So what's 38
I think it's
uncontested possessions.
Yeah. 16 contested's all right though. 15 score involvements.
Yeah, no, I'm not being critical.
Big number.
It just goes to show the room that he was afforded by Adam Uze.
But I did think he had some damaging ball. Like I know 22 possessions in the corridor. Like I just thought he worked hard up and down the ground all day, and he was always there, turning up for a handball receive. And sometimes you just need that one guy to kickstart things. Look, it's a window hopefully into 2026. That this midfield just absolutely takes control. McKercher has taken some big steps over the last few weeks. So there's a lot to like. O'Sullivan's a sneaky good player.
He's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good pick.
Obviously a really high pick, so you need him to be a good player. But
good.
He's getting better every week as well. So a lot to like.
And your man, the Mad Cuddler, Paul Curtis with 5 as well.
Don't say that. I said last night.
He's mad for the contest.
Mad for the
That's
contest.
What you said.
Yes, that's perfect English. I think he can be the next Toby Green.
Curtis?
Yep. I think that's the trajectory for this guy.
Make the case.
He absolutely wants it. Well, he's hard to beat one-on-one. He can rear up and sit on your head and take a mark. He tackles like there's no... He's got a bit of anger in his game, the Mad Cuddler, and he does have a happy knack of kicking remarkable goals. Well, he's got a contender for goal of the year yesterday. So, great game.
Now, can I let you loose for just a brief moment? Because you had a crack at me a few weeks ago when I didn't have a microphone in front of me and I started sort of just getting itchy fingers and tweeting on like a Friday and a Saturday.
Yeah, well, I've got some people in my scope.
My goodness, were you active after?
Well, they just have been smashing me in Western Australia.
After Fremantle served up what they served on. You were relentless on the tweet.
Valid?
You couldn't wait until you had your 16 hours in front of a microphone on Saturday.
No,
you just had to go.
Been smashed.
You were still up at 1 a.m. tweeting.
Well, it was Friday night. The game didn't finish till midnight.
It was a late one.
It was a late one. And that's what we do. This is the biggest game of
out of control.
No, this is the biggest game of the
control.
biggest game of the year for the Ballers.
The floor is yours. Give us your best 45 seconds
on the game
on Freo and what we saw and whether you feel vindicated.
No, not vindicated. I think
you were
this
calling
is
for jobs.
I think no. I'm just putting people who have clipped me relentlessly back in their box. I think this is Richmond of 2016. I really do. So these are seriously intelligent guys, right? So regardless of how this year finishes up, whether they win next week and make the finals, I don't think anyone would have them winning 4 finals after that. Either way, either team really. But I think Fremantle would sit down and say, okay, we've got an excellent list, and we've got an opportunity to make some change. The first quarter ball movement on the weekend, Champion Data, Horny's been great at tracking ball movement. Speed of ball and time.
He actually broke exclusively on this show, and then you tried to rebadge it months later on midweek first crack as an exclusive, but we had it first.
Yeah, well, we don't really pay him that much, and Fox pay a fortune for Champion.
Fair.
I think it was their first quarter was the second slowest ball movement quarter recorded. So that's the problem. Right? When you play tight footy against good teams, and the answer that always comes back at me, well, we got this record against the best teams in the comp. That's fine, but it's just, to me, it's like you're entering a boxing. It's like watching you box. Your gloves are up all the time, not wanting to get hit. You sometimes just got to throw a few. You got to land a few.
My right hand didn't work, did it?
Didn't work.
No.
It was like your boxing.
Yeah, one-handed.
So I think they'll be a force over the next couple of years.
But hang on.
But right now, they got issues.
Well, so Richmond 2016 backed in the coach and changed everything around him, and some leaders at that footy club stepped up. Are you suggesting that they back in the coach and build around him like Richmond in 16, or are you more aggressive than that?
I think they will back him in.
You think they will?
I think they will. I mean, it's not the first thing that comes back to me is they've won 15 games. So you got to work out. And they've got a massive opportunity this week. All roads lead to this week. So if you can gather and go, they're good enough to win on the road. We know, we've seen that before. They've got a terrific squad. They go head to head with, one of the informed midfields in the competition at the Dogs away from home. So it's a tough ask, right?
Yep.
But this is the gig. It's right. If you said it's a one-game challenge at the start of the year, you got one game at the end to make the 8. All chips in. You'd love that opportunity.
Let's have a listen to Kingies man, the coach, Justin Longmuir, after that disaster on Friday night.
Or not.
Geordie might be overseas or still making his way back from Tassie.
big
Audio 13 there, Geordie. Just that like that.
He knows. He's just having some technical.
We'll go over there and give our best shot. We've won, 11 of 13. I know everyone will be doom and gloom and write us off again after tonight, but got a lot of faith in this team. Didn't go our way tonight, but like I said to him after the game, we'll review it the same way, we'll get better, dust ourselves off, and we'll go again. Said farewell to Fifey yet. We've got plenty of footy left in us.
We'll speak to the Lions coach Chris Fagan a little bit later on, but just a word on them. Well, that was a masterful performance from Brisbane. A little bit hard to sort of get a read. They've been up and down, and their ability to respond after a disappointing performance has been admirable. Away from home, longest road trip. They possess the footy. I mean, they had 30 uncontested marks in about the first 10 minutes. Bailey starting on ball, ripped them apart. But gee, that was an impressive premiership-like performance from Brisbane.
When will teams put some time into Zorko? I know it sounds silly and it's unfashionable, but his corridor kicking is destroying teams. Teams. He's got the best 7-9 in the comp. Just clears the trees and just lands on the chest of his teammate in the corridor. It's unbelievable. So full credit to the Lions for setting themselves. They were in this situation last week. They could drop 2 games and miss. And everyone say, well, gee, Brisbane, they'd be unlucky. But this is the reality of high-level AFL footy. If you want to contend, you've got to win these games on the road.
Isn't Fletcher a player? I know we've been speaking about it for a while. He's the best of their young players, all of them. He's a freak. So the sky's the limit for him. I think he ends up inside eventually.
Yeah. If you could take one player
I'd take
from
Fletcher.
I'd take Fletcher.
Of the under 22s types, so the Ashcroft brothers, Fletcher, Logan Morris would be an interesting debate.
I'm a Darcy Wilmot man.
You're a Wilmot man. No, I'm a Fletcher man. Wilmot's been excellent, but Fletcher's phenomenal. His ability overhead as well. 32 he had at 81%. Bang. He is on fire. He is on fire, Chris Scott. And remarkably, they've won another 16 games. Again, they sit second on 64 points with Richmond to come. And this club continues to do it. But no one's going to argue with him on that, are they? Like, to see that game yesterday, to see the players still falling over in the same positions that they have fallen over all year, to see him patrolling the centre wicket prior to the game, Chris Scott, and shaking his head as he's moving his feet up and down the centre wicket, and then to hear that, but nothing gets done. Nothing gets done about it.
Oh, I love Chris. No one works a camera like this.
He's brilliant.
He knew exactly what he was doing, walking around, digging the feet in.
He's the best media performer in the country.
He's a beauty. He's a great salesman.
Yeah.
No, and he's done an amazing job. And what he's been able to do for Geelong, you'd love to just be a Geelong fan, really, and just enjoy the ride every year. It's the same, isn't it? Every year, you know, you're going to be knocking on the edges of the top 4, if not entrenched. So this was meant to be their test, Conzi.
Yeah. Do you feel like of all the 9, we've spoken the least about Geelong?
No, I've talked a lot about their health, how they've managed the list. And again, they're all there.
They're flying under the radar somewhat, a little, like maybe not now. Maybe this week we'll start to ramp up those discussions. But gee, we've spent a lot of time on Brisbane and Collingwood and Adelaide. Spoken a lot about Western Bulldogs and Freo. Haven't spoken a whole lot about, I just think, everyone, not you, but Geelong and what a position that they're in again.
Their profile is super strong. I think if they're not one, in possession of the footy, they're number 2, and if they're not top 4, they're sort of 5th without the footy. So they've always got that sort of profile. They respect defence and winning the ball back. If you let Tom Stewart run around, it does my head in.
So I think that's the biggest story out of yesterday. Stewart's been just going, and largely it's around his body and his health. To see him do what he did yesterday and get him going again with 4 intercepts and 25, kicked it well, which he always does. I thought De Koning was really strong, particularly early, so that combination there. Rock solid behind the ball. You think, they won midfielder short, but probably not now with Smith and Holmes. And then
Myers.
And Myers playing as the extra.
Myers is the wild card.
And their forward line with Dangerfield, who's been well managed, is explosive. And Shannon Neal doing what he's doing right now. So maybe they have the least weaknesses of any of the top 9.
So if you had asked Chris Scott a fortnight ago, what do you want to see in the next couple of weeks? And if he was honest with you, I think he would have said, "I'd love to see Tom Stewart get going."
Yep.
And I'd love to see Dempsey get back into a little bit of form, a little bit of win your own ball stuff. He looked threatening again.
Stengel
we don't
was
talk
the other
about
one
Sean
as well.
Manor. Why don't we talk about Sean Manor?
I don't know, because it's just another one that they found that any other club could have had.
Yeah, so they're building. Danger had his power back yesterday, so they've managed him perfectly again. It is understated if you can pick your top 23 ranked players on your list as your starting team round 1 of the finals. That's a huge advantage.
Yep.
Some teams are going to be picking the 28th ranked player on their list. That's a problem.
At the MCG on Saturday twilight, Jack Gunston took 5 marks inside forward 50 in the first quarter. In the first quarter alone, on Stephen May, mind you, absolutely made him look foolish in one of the best individual quarters and games, to be fair, that I've seen this year. Sam Mitchell, the genius, spoke about him after the game.
His major role, and the thing we rely on with Jack, is his influence off the field. What he's been able to do on the field is, probably beyond most of our thoughts and dreams of what it would have been. But certainly we want to get out of our players' way in putting ceilings on them. Whatever they can achieve gives them the freedom to do it. And he obviously believes he's got great footy in front of him and not going to get in his way. So.
Yeah, you could make a case that it's the most impressive individual performance of the season. 33 years of age, he has kicked a career high. You think of the amount of good footy he's played. 2014, he kicked 59. He's equalled that with a game to go. 7 on the weekend. Extraordinary performance. What a bonus it is for the Hawks. Kingy?
I admire Luke Bruce and Jack Gunston.
Oh, yeah.
I have loved watching them play at this level pretty much week in, week out. Not 7-goal level, but high level. Week in, week out for feels like 15 years.
Well, it has been.
But it's a long, long time, and congratulations to be able to do it again. My only reservation with the Hawks is that it is Gunston, that it isn't Deer, or it isn't Chol, or it isn't Lewis. Yeah, I think that they would, deep down, Mitch would love that to be, sharing the goals, a good spread of contributors in the forward line, because for Jack to do it again through a final series, it's going to be a big ask, isn't it?
Huge ask, but who would doubt it? It's not going to be to that level, but I think he can play a meaningful role with the way that he's covering the ground. Big game Sunday night, take on Brisbane at the Gabba. Where's my little music? There's only one answer, one word answers. It's either pass or fail for the recruits.
Pass or fail. There's no middle ground at all.
Nah.
None at all.
No.
Okay, that's a harsh
Alex Neil-Bullen.
pass.
Peatling.
On the fail side of 50-50.
Isaac Cumming.
Pass.
Dan Houston.
Fail.
Harry Perryman.
Fail.
Nick Haynes at the Blues.
Pass.
Yep. Shea Bolton.
Pass.
Jake Stringer. Jakey boy. The package.
I love the package. Fail.
When he's played, it's been a pass.
Oh, I know, but I'm
Hasn't
going to give you
played
two
enough. I know.
options.
Well done. Well done. Discipline from you. Discipline. Bailey Smith.
Massive pass.
John Noble.
Pass.
Dan Rioli.
Pass.
Battle.
Pass.
Barris.
Pass.
Jack Darling.
Pass.
Luke Parker.
Pass.
Caleb Daniel.
On the fail side of 50-50.
That's a fail. Jack Lukosius. Don't think too
Fail.
long about that one.
Right.
Joe Richards.
Fail.
Rory Atkins was a good recruit. So
Fail.
Yep. Jack McRae.
Pass.
Jack Graham at West Coast.
Pass.
Baker at West Coast.
Pass.
And Matty Kennedy at the Dogs.
Pass.
Well done. Very generous. A lot of passes. A lot of
Well,
passes
well,
there.
which one did I get wrong? Which ones did I get wrong? I mean, you didn't give me a lot of middle ground.
No,
I mean,
I didn't. I thought you were harsh on Peatling. I would give that a pass.
you thought I was harsh.
I did. I'd give
Your starting point was
I
to
would
work
give
one more back into the pass box.
Peatling a tick.
I think
I don't
I
know
probably
if-
expected more from Peatling
I don't
this
know
year,
if
but
I'd give
that's okay.
Rioli a tick.
What do you mean? He's been brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know. He missed a bit of footy. I definitely wouldn't give Caleb Daniel a tick. Jack Darling.
I don't think
But
I
there's
did.
been some. I mean, there's been some really important recruits, and that's
So my
why-
point is, with kick out Caleb, no
Yeah,
good.
No, I heard you
Up
say
the
that.
field,
I
Caleb,
heard you
good.
say that yesterday.
Yeah, can you see a team winning 4 finals in succession in September to win it? Any team, any of them?
Yes,
can.
it's unlikely because it doesn't happen often, but it has happened.
Kind of my question, yeah.
It's unlikely, but I can see it. To answer your question, it's unlikely, but I can see it happening. Would I be shocked? No.
Are you asking yourself questions again?
Well, I'm just trying to wrap my head around what you're saying.
All right, let me ask you a question. You don't have to ask yourself, all right? If St Kilda hang on to Nas, right, but they have to pay him 1.6 a year on the back of TDK coming in for 1.7 a year, is this going to restrict their rebuild of their list to a point where it is self-defeating?
Well, that's a good question. But then I say, well, if Adelaide put him in there at 1 point, it's going to be 1 point whatever. Is that going to restrict them? Like if Port Adelaide go,
They're already there.
Yeah, but they're not there yet. They haven't won a final yet. So
They're top of the ladder, sorry.
They are. But if they don't get there to win the premiership, is this going to restrict what they are doing? I don't know. And Port Adelaide's the same. Like they're going to trade away every draft pick until 2028 to get him, which is what they're going to have to do, and pay him that figure. Then their rebuild is completely cooked as well. So I think that question revolves around all three.
Well, give me 3 answers then. So would you you're prepared to do that if you're Port Adelaide?
I think you have to.
You're in charge.
I think
You're
you
the
have
man.
to. I think you have to because you're going to get him for unders because he's out of contract. So you're not going to pay market rate for him. So he's 22. It's essentially a known product rather than going to the draft with 2 picks. So yes, I'm doing that if I'm Port Adelaide.
Adelaide?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
St Kilda?
Yeah. Well, they just can't lose. So all
So
three.
so you're doing all three?
yeah,
then?
I am. Are you not?
So you're not concerned, was what I'm saying. You're not
I'm
concerned about...
concerned more about the DeConing deal than I am the Nasiah deal.
Yeah, I understand that.
yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
With the two of them,
Yeah.
I know it would.
So have you
I know
got
it would be
pause
unpopular.
on 3 of them. Are you worried?
I
Would you
would
not do the deal?
I'm worried of the Port Adelaide side of it.
Oh yeah.
What that would do if
have
they give
to do
up
that
if
deal.
they give up too much to get him.
But you have to do it, don't you? Like, what are you going to do? Go to the draft and
Well, they won't be going to the draft for a while if they get him.
I've been telling you that for years. I've been telling
gonna
you
have to
that
be-
for ages. How long have I been saying that about Port Adelaide and their lack of
No,
draft
only
picks?
recently. Since Chad was
that
giving the
is-
ass.
That is so untrue from
Only
you.
since Chad
That was the
has
whole.
got the flick have you turned on Port
That
Adelaide.
is so unfair of you to
You
say
know
that.
we record. You know we record audio here, don't you?
It's all on. I'm going to Google it. I've been worried about their list for a long, long period of time, not just recently, and that's why I was complimentary of the job that Ken had done.
Very complimentary.
They're all in already. So look, they have to go to him. You couldn't turn your back on that if he said, "I want to come to Port Adelaide," could you? You wouldn't say no to him.
No, I'm more looking at the St Kilda angle because of the double up. The two of them coming in for 3.3 or 3.2 million bucks.
Yeah.
It's a big spend, isn't it?
It's a big number.
It's a big number.
What's hurt them as well is the recent run of wins. Now, no one's going to be critical of them for winning, but your draft pick goes from wherever it was 5 weeks ago to getting pushed way out to 14, 15, which hurts as well.
If you were taking control of the Melbourne Football Club at the end of this season, because coaches are going to have to sit at the front of a panel and answer this question.
Yes.
Keeping Christian or purging Christian? Christian Petrarca, that is.
I'm keeping Christian. I'm purging a whole heap of others. So give me some other names.
No, I'm just giving you the one
No,
name.
I'm keeping Christian.
You're keeping him?
Yeah, keeping him. Keeping him.
What if I give you a first-round pick for him?
No, I'm still keeping him.
What if I give you a first-round pick and next year's a future 2?
I'd think about an extraordinary deal for him, but he's the one I'd like to keep.
Oliver.
No, I told you last year they should have.
We got the music on this year.
They should have given a pick for a club to take his wage last year, and that's what they should have paid. They should have paid for someone to take him.
I'm not going to play last year's replays, all right?
I know, but I'm
this
just telling
year,
you. Gone.
Fritsch.
No, I'd trade him. Yeah.
You'd trade
Yeah,
him?
I would. I really would.
Would you trade Van Rooyen?
No, I wouldn't trade Van Rooyen. I loved his last quarter on the weekend after his first 3 was so disappointing. And he is a young key forward with some talent, and they need forward. So long-winded answer.
I know, we're going to run out. We
I'm
actually ran out of
keeping him.
music.
I'm keeping
The
him.
answer was that long, I ran out of music.
Sorry, my bad.
Turn it over, flip to side B.
My bad.
Lever.
I'm happy to keep Jake. I don't want to keep Stephen.
You don't want to keep Stephen?
No.
You've never liked Stephen.
Stephen May's bad.
You've never liked Stephen. Has he done something to you?
No, he's been a great player, really important. But no, I think it's time to move past and turn over a new leaf.
Long answers when the music's on, man.
Sorry.
I got yes or no.
You didn't set
and
it.
you got,
you didn't set it up right.
Bloody hell.
It's all in the
like a
setup.
sermon.
You
It's
say
a
there
sermon.
are only one word
When
answers.
the music comes on, play the game.